Om 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 Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vitvishavahai Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha हरि ओम बोलिए श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय हरि ओम welcome today to the last episode of Chinmaya Yoga. With this we will be closing this whole series of Chinmaya Yoga, and on January 1st you're going to have a talk on Sankalpat Siddhihi. It is a one-off talk especially for the new calendar and the new diary that we are going to start on January 1st, and then I will come back to you on what is the topic we are going to deal with in our series for 2023. So the last chapter of from a manual for self-unfoldment by Pujya Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda ji. The last chapter is on meditation. So why we should meditate, and how we can meditate, and how we can achieve success in meditation. So the whole purpose of our search is to find the core of our personality, who we really are. Before the self, the core of the human personality can be reached, our attention must first be withdrawn from the world of sensual activities, and then from the 5 layers of matter enveloping it, the 5 koshas. That is, our attention must be withdrawn from our sense organs of seeing, hearing, tasting, smelling, and touching, and attention must be withdrawn from the physical body, the Annamaya kosha, the energy body, the Pranamaya kosha, the mind body of likes and dislikes, Manomaya kosha, the intellect body that decides about between this and that, the intellect body that differentiates between this and that, and decides and chooses something, and then the bliss body, which is comprised of our own ignorance of who we really are, the state of indolence, the state of tamas, the state of experiencing only happiness without a blissful, ignorant happiness about who we are, is the bliss body. We have to take our attention away from all this. And once the attention is taken away from this, it has to be brought into what is the core of our own self. And it is done by keeping an image of the deity we worship with devotion daily, or guru, or the master whom we serve, keeping that image in front of us, or Omkara. Gurudev gives many suggestions here. So any of these visual, auditory aids we can keep to place our attention on something very noble, so that the mind becomes very quiet. So to achieve this, the preliminary steps, that is the first thing is, for meditation we need to place attention. Our attention is always diverted into the world outside us, the world of objects, meaning the object of sound, the object of forms, the object of taste, the object of smell, and the object of touch. It is always diverted without us. So we need to turn that, we need to remove the distractions by turning the mind in. And to remove the distractions, what exactly we should do is purifying the mind, the feelings of the mind of likes and dislikes, purifying it with bhakti yoga, meaning you convert all our the likes and dislikes into love for the divine. That's bhakti yoga. Then with the body serve the divine that is karma yoga, and with the intellect, think and contemplate about the divine, which is jnana yoga. Gurudev says when we do these three, what happens within us? There is a transformation that takes place. But before we could really achieve the great transformation, the process of sitting in meditation is to first choose a quiet place. Many people go to temples or go to centers of meditation and ashrams so that a ready-made quiet place is available. But always it will not be open, or you cannot go at all hours. We need a place that can be at our command. Swami Shivananda ji used to say, if you are very blessed with a separate room for meditation, then wonderful. Keep that room neat and tidy, clean, with just the altar in the room, altar for meditation, and keep that room under lock and key. If that is not possible, you can choose a corner of your house, a corner of your office, a small place where you can call your own. If you really see many Muslims who travel by train, or who are at the bus station or the train station, I'm just giving it to you as an example of, if you really want to do something, we will be able to find the way to do it. They will be traveling by train among all members. They will just remove the slippers that are there on the floor of the compartment between the two berths, and they will sit there and do their namaz. Or I have seen all this with my eyes. In the airport, they will find there are many airports provide rooms for meditation and quiet. At the international airports, it is available. Many hospitals provide space. Many schools and many offices also provide space for meditation. If you don't have, even in the crowded bus stand in Chennai, in one corner, they just clean up, they clear up, they spread their own cloth or whatever it is, and they do their namaz. So that is a kind of intensity of practice that we can follow. But in our own homes, even if the home is very crowded, filled with things, there will always be some few square inches of space which we can claim as our own corner. So make that corner very clean, keep a small altar in front of you, and keep that space very pure, neat and tidy. It's a small square. It can be the size of a desk area also. If you can't sit on the ground, keep your desk as your altar. And you can keep that space or go-to space. For in many houses you have your puja rooms. Even if puja rooms may not be up to your liking, because there will be so many things which are not in our control. In every house is puja room. You can either choose to sit in a puja room in a quiet corner, or in your own bedroom, or in your study room, or in the hall. It can be just a seat in the chair, but it can be your go-to place for meditation. Daily go to that place, sit there, practice for minimum of 1 minute or 2 minutes or 5 minutes, whatever time you choose. Daily practice. It can be initially, if you are not able to get to a fixed routine of time. Throughout the day, you can tell yourself that I will sit quietly in meditation for 3 minutes, and observe the 3 minutes every day, 365 days without a break. Don't give yourself excuses for not doing it for 3 minutes. Or even if 3 minutes is difficult, 2 minutes. Or even if 2 minutes is difficult, 1 minute. Definitely, we will have 1 minute of time for meditation. But keep that 1 minute a compulsory thing every day. If you are not able to bring it to a morning time, fix it to a morning time. Don't worry about, if I practice meditation for 1 minute, will I be able to meditate? You will be able to meditate. Automatically over the weeks, what will happen is, even though you've given yourself only 1 minute time, you will be able to sit for 10 minutes. You will be able to sit for 20 minutes. You will be able to sit for 30 minutes or even half an hour. You never know The moment the mind becomes quiet, you have tasted ambrosia and you can continue to sit in meditation. So, but even if you do, even if you're able to sit for half an hour one day, keep your target time as 1 minute. If you've chosen 1 minute, or if you've chosen 5 minutes or 10 minutes, keep that as your cutoff time. Beyond that, it is if meditation happens, well and good. So choose a quiet time. If you're not able to cut off distractions, if there's a lot of noise, if there's a lot of disturbances, phone calls, mobile phones, pinging of your WhatsApp or Instagram or Facebook, for 1 minute or 2 minutes, you can shut off everything. You can shut off even your light, the fan, you can shut off your mobile phone, switch off your mobile phone. Or if you cannot do all that, if you don't want to do all that, put it in silent mode and dedicate that 2 minutes or 1 minute completely for meditation. So the mind will become quiet. 1 minute is definitely too less a time, but for nothing, it is better to do for 1 minute. So relatively choose a peaceful place in your house. The Bhagavad Gita says, Na atyuchritam, na ati nicham. Choose a place where you are comfortable, to close your eyes. It should not be very high. You should not try meditation on the top of a cliff where the scenery may be beautiful, overlooking the sea, like a suicide point. In that place, you should not go and sit and meditate, because in meditation you are not in control of what happens to your body. So choose a safe place, and if it is not safe, your mind will not let you to meditate, because the mind is constantly concerned. The body, the brain is constantly concerned about the safety of the body. If the place is not safe, the brain will bring some distraction and bring you out of meditation. In the same way, the mind is constantly concerned about the safety. The ego is constantly concerned about its own existence. The ego needs to survive. So you give a safe place, and then everything is perfect and it is very beautiful. You can even choose aids like, decorating your altar with flowers, decorating the altar with incense sticks, and decorating it with something beautiful, making it neat, clean, and tidy, and the fragrance of the agarbatti can remind you of the divine. The fragrance of the flowers, the softness of the flowers can remind you of the divine. The fragrance, the beauty of the altar can keep you reminded of the divine. Anything like this is an altar. Like you have an idol, you can keep it something around it, which reminds you, which gives you a very uplifting emotion. You can put a screen behind like this, where something great is being reminded. Or you can have the picture of your guru, whoever the guru may be that you really adore and worship, and or the padukas of the guru. So Gurudev suggests that you keep the altar in such a way that the feet of the Lord that you worship in the altar, or the feet of the Guru, the face of the Guru, you are able to see clearly, and so that there is no other distraction. When you open your eyes, your eyes fall on the form of the Guru. There's a very beautiful shloka in the Guru Gita. Dhyana Moolam Guror Murti. The form of the Guru is the root for meditation. Puja Moolam Guror Padam. The worship, the feet of the Guru is an altar that's worthy of worship. Mantra Moolam Guror Vakyam. The words of the Guru, it can be in any language. It can be in English, it can be in Tamil, it can be in Hindi, it can be in Sanskrit, it can be in French or Greek or Latin, whoever is your guru. Guru means somebody who is interested in your welfare and well-being, somebody who is interested in knowing that you are that supreme self is your Sat Guru. When you find such a person, meditate on the form of the Guru and puja mantramulam gurur vakyam mokshamulam guru kripa. The blessings of the Guru grants us with moksha or liberation of mind. It increases the energy that we experience within, and with the experienced heightened experience of energy, we are able to focus more and more deep within ourselves, and at one point of time, nobody can say which point of time that is, we will be able to realize our true self with the grace of the Guru. So Gurudev says, the other way is also to have the help of a mala. You can keep your body relaxed and the left hand on the palm facing upward, lightly falling on the lap, on the left thigh, and you can hold the mala in your right hand. We've already done in japa of how to do japa with the mala. The index finger is not touching the japa mala. The mala can be held with these two fingers and the thumb, and then it can be rotated on the anamika. There is the earth finger or the ring finger. The mala can be rotated with the help of the thumb without touching the index finger. And ensure that the mala is kept somewhere comfortably above. So usually many people, what they do is they keep it in a bag so that it doesn't fall down, it doesn't fall on the ground when we do meditate, because mala is a sacred tool that is helping us to meditate. It reminds us of the name of the Lord. So it should not fall on your legs or anywhere. So the suggestion is the mala should be in tune with our heart center. So we are always reminded of that noble goal at all times very easily. Then when the distractions of the sense organs are removed, the distractions, when you close your eyes, of course when the room is neat, clean and tidy, the space of meditation is very silent and you're seated comfortably on a cushion or on a mat, when you spread out a silk cloth, whatever, everything is for providing the right sense of touch for the skin. And also when the energy that is gathered during meditation does not get absorbed completely in the earth, it still stays with us. So that's the reason why we have a cushion and a cloth or a mat that comes between us and the floor. And also it can prevent cold from entering us when we are meditating for longer hours, or it can prevent insects from coming us and biting and causing disturbance. Of course, if mosquitoes are your problem, you should attend to that by having a very non-intrusive mosquito repellent on your skin so that you are not disturbed by the biting of mosquitoes, or prevent mosquitoes from entering into your room. There are many ways to do this. We don't need to discuss that now because you know all that already. Even after that, if you feel there is a mosquito bite, and if you want to, if you do not want to shake yourself, if you do not want to disturb yourself in the short time that you're sitting for meditation, just bring your attention to that place completely. Experience that biting of the mosquito completely with love and attention. And this is a method that I have tried many times. It will not work when there are too many mosquitoes. You have to stop it. But something random that happens in between, you don't need to disturb yourself and disturb the whole process of meditation for that small sting, which will always be, your attention will be taken away from that when you place loving attention for some time, and it will cease to disturb you. So the subtle body is considered by our scriptures as functioning on 4 different offices. The stuff remaining the same, the subtle body is called the mind when it is working in the fields of doubt and feelings. The mind is something that is connected through our sense organs, our awareness, our capacity to know, that's connected through our sense organs and reaching out and getting information from the world is called the mind. The mind is called intellect when the information from the world is always in a state of disturbance in us. There is always doubt, there is worry, there is anxiety, there is disbelief. So many kinds of emotions are being experienced through the sense organs and with the help of the mind. But when those experiences are brought to the notice of the intellect says, okay, this is okay, just leave it. Don't bother about this. Now focus on this. This is very important for you. The intellect gives us that thought to us where it helps us to focus on what we need to do to attain success in what we are trying to do and not get distracted. The whole idea of meditation is keep out distractions, remove distractions within, focus your attention on life, on the self, or if you're not able to go much deeper, bring your attention to your breathing, find out where the breath goes deep within. There is a point where the breath reaches. Focus on that point, focus your attention on that point, and then the breath comes out. Just keep your attention on the ingoing breath and the outgoing breath without needing to breathe in deeply for that purpose. The breath is going and coming in naturally. Just focus your attention. The mind becomes very, very still. So the mind is there. It is tormented by doubts, likes and dislikes. The intellect is there. The intellect is that which decides. The mind is like the younger sister or the younger brother, always troubled by something or the other. The intellect is like the elder sister or the elder brother who says, no, do this, do that, keep quiet, focus on your work. The elder brother will tell the younger one. So the mind and the intellect. Then you have the ego or the ahamkara. Aham kartru, ahamkaraha. That which does this thing called I. Kumbham karoti iti kumbhakaraha. So, the one who makes the pot is called the potter. The one who cooks is called the cook. The one who carves is called the sculptor. The one who does something is called by that name. Ahamkara gets that name because that is the thing that gives us this thought called I. This ahamkara is like that little kid in a team of maybe cricket players from standard 9, standard 10 age, from age of 10 to 14, they're all playing cricket. There'll be one little brother of one of these players and everybody will be petting and pampering this child. And so this child will say, I will bat, I will bat, I will bat. So they will give him the bat. He will bat and first duck out he will become. Then he will say, I will bowl, I will bowl, I will bowl. So they will give him the ball. It will not go beyond the bowler's crease also. Then he will say, I will field, I will field, I will field. For everything he adds this word I. Everything he wants to do. Whatever you tell, the dress is there. I will put the dress, whether he knows to put it or not, he will say, I will put, I will put, I will put. I for everything. So this ahamkara is like a small child which gives its sense of I to everything. If body is feeling hungry, the stomach is feeling hungry, the ahamkara says, I am hungry, I am hungry, I am hungry. If we are feeling, there is a sense of thirst is there. It's a sensation. The sensation of thirst, the ahamkara says, I am thirsty, I am thirsty, I am thirsty. If there is a feeling of joy, the ahamkara says, I am joyful, I am joyful, I am joyful. If there's a feeling of excitement, ahamkara says, I am excited, I am excited, I am excited. If there is a feeling of sorrow, you watch a movie, there is a sorrowful feeling, I am sad, I am sad, I am sad. And then the body is tired and it wants to sleep. The Ahankara says, I am sleepy, I am sleepy, I am sleepy. Suppose the situation is such that the intellect is not able to understand a problem. The Ahankara says, I am dull, I am dull, I am dull. Or suppose the intellect understands because of the situation, because of the circumstances, because of the nourishing food, because of the impact of the teacher, because of the impact of the whole classroom, the intellect is able to understand. The Ahankara says, I understood, I understood, I understood. I am brilliant, I am brilliant, I am brilliant. So this Ahankara is very necessary for our survival. Without that sense of I, we cannot get up in the morning. In fact, the first thought in the morning is a thought of this Ahankara. I slept well last night. I had dreams last night. I am waking up now. I woke up early in the morning today. I slept late today. Only now I am waking up. I have got so much of work to do. The Ahankara is the first that wakes up. The Ahankara lends itself to all our actions, all our thoughts, all our words, and all our feelings, all our emotions, all our experiences, all different parts of the body. It is either I or it is mine. It says I, or it says mine, 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 or I, and I want. This is the problem of the Ahankara, but nevertheless, the Ahankara, the I, is a thought. The thought contains a substance inside it. That substance is called Chit. Chit is the cosmic intelligence. It is consciousness. The Ahankara is alive. The sense of I is alive because of the experience of consciousness. If the experience of consciousness is not there, the I does not experience consciousness because of some reason of falling down or passing out, then we say that person has fainted, he has lost consciousness, or that person is in a state of coma, he is not in touch with that consciousness. So being in touch with that consciousness is what we do in the process of meditation. This consciousness is there inside this I thought. This I thought is like a balloon. You can imagine it to be a balloon, and the balloon is filled with this light of consciousness. And what are the ways by which this consciousness can come out into this world? This consciousness can express into the world like how if there is sunlight all around, if you want your room to be filled with sun, your room is not filled with the sunlight outside, consciousness is everywhere, but it is let only partially inside because it has this covering of I. And if you want sunlight to be in your room, then if you remove all the walls in your room, like the Japanese who have temporary walls, they have boards. They don't keep fixed walls in their houses. They just keep a board that divides the inner and the outer part of the house. So remove the house, remove the walls, remove those boards, and there is the nature and the house becomes one. It is a very beautiful experience. So when you remove the walls, the sunlight comes in. In the same way, breaking the wall of the intellect, you can break the wall of the intellect through the path of knowledge. The Ahamkara is identifying with the intellect and says, I know. How do we break it? That consciousness is everywhere and in everything. Like sunlight is in everywhere and in everything. I open all the doors and windows of my house. I let sunlight into my house. In the same way, consciousness is everywhere. That knowing, the sense of knowledge is everywhere, in everything. I just have to let go of the sense of I. Then this light within merges with the light without. And how by Bhakti Yoga, when the love within merges with the love without through devotion from the heart, singing from the heart, or listening with love to the stories of the Lord, or just serving the Lord, whatever we may do, whatever we may think, always think. We experience this love. I remember one time when I learned how to do puja, and the teacher taught us how to do puja. Whenever you go shopping for yourself, how you buy clothes, and how you buy food stuff for yourself, like that you should buy for Bhagavan. So it was really, I was in Tiruchi that time. It is a very divine place, surrounded by Akhilandeshwari temple on one side and Srirangam on the other. When you turn this side, you can go to Akhilandeshwari, or this side, you can turn to Sriranganatha temple. Or when you want to look up, you can look up at Uchipaliyar. And then if you look down closer by, you are at Kaveri. You are surrounded by devotion, all places. So when I went shopping, it was such a lovely experience. Okay, what can I buy for Bhagavan? I want to buy dry fruits. I want to buy those tiny small clothes we can put for Bhagavan. I want to buy flowers to offer for Bhagavan. So much of love is pouring out when we buy itself, when we think about all that. So, and when that love pours out, the light within merges with the light without, because the barrier of the mind breaks with love. And then there is this body, the physical body. When you serve Bhagavan, this physical body is called Ahankara. The I thought is strongly attached to the body. When we serve with love, when we serve others with love, this I thought breaks from within, and consciousness within merges with the consciousness without when we serve with love. So this is the way by which we can make ourselves very, very light. So the subtle body with which we help to meditate, which contains the mind, the intellect, the I, and consciousness, is called subtle. It is like in the physical body, the subtle body is like a helium balloon which is trapped inside. So the helium balloon is at all the time, this is the ceiling of the helium balloon. In moments of meditation, when you let go of all your controls, the physical body is merged with nature, is merged with your atmosphere, the mind has got no restriction, there is love all around, you're safe all around, you're surrounded by love, the loving energy of the divine. And so the mind has also let off its guard. The intellect also, there is knowledge within, that the light of consciousness within is the light of consciousness without. With what light you're able to see every object without, the same light you're able to see your thoughts, emotions, and feelings. In that knowledge, in that state of knowledge, that is also so. You let go of the conditioning of your intellect, you let go of the conditioning of your mind, you let go of the conditioning of your body. Then everything opens up, and the subtle body, which is like a helium balloon, goes straight up to the divine. And then when you want to continue with your regular practice and your regular work, you like how you bring a kite back to position and hold it with a thread of divine love, you bring it back, and then everything closes and you begin your day-to-day work in the same state of meditation, in the same state of love, in the same state of knowledge, and in the same state of service. So Gurudev says, if you want to meditate well for half an hour, the remaining 23 hours of the day should be spent meditatively. Then half an hour of meditation is possible. So with that, we conclude on the most beautiful note of meditation. With this whole year, we have been seeing Chinmaya Yoga, the talks. It happened with, it started with IAS motivation, January 16th. And then it went on for students to learn methods by which students can focus on their studies. And then it became Chinmaya Yoga, and the talks have been continuing, and this is the last episode of this year. And next year, when we meet, that is next week, next Sunday, 6 o'clock, the topic is going to be Sankalpat Siddhihi. So tune in that time. It is a very important topic for our year. We have our new calendar and diary that we are going to. Calendar and diaries are meant to tell us, remind us of the dates, how much time we have for the year, what all we want to do, what all achievements we want to do, how we want to make that happen is going to be the topic for next week. So stay tuned and wish you all a very, very happy new year. New calendar and new diary. Om Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu, Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu, Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayah, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschit Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasorma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om Boliye Shri Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai Hari Om.